I guess the thing to do today is to give people a trigger warning. So let me go ahead and give you that trigger warning. This video is going to be graphic. So just a warning in advance. Some background before we get into the comment. There was a woman on TikTok who did a video talking about childhood trauma, and she told a story about an interaction between her and her mother. The woman said that when she was a child, she was putting away, I think she was a preteen or a teen, she was putting away clean dishes from the dishwasher, and she put away a cup from the dishwasher that wasn't fully clean. She didn't inspect it properly, and it still made its way into the cabinet. And when her mother found out about it, her mother's punishment for her was making her wash the dishes by hand for a full year. Couldn't use the dishwasher. Nobody could help her. It was her and her alone. Now, side note, we've been living in this house for 21 years with no dishwasher, so every dish that gets washed in this house is by hand, so that's not punishment for us, but I understand how it could be punishment for people, especially like this instance that this woman was talking about. Somebody then came in and said, is calling CPS, Child Protective Services, an option? And this commenter said, do you really think, I think they meant to say think, do you really think the only thing that happened was putting away one dirty cup? There's two sides of every story. There are two sides of every story, not there is. There's two sides of every story. Personally, I'm super sick of watching one-sided TikToks and then comments recommend CPS. Are you kidding? Now, I don't know if Child Protective Services are necessary in this particular instance. It doesn't seem like it is an abusive, like they didn't beat or harm the child. It just seemed like a really fucked up, more of a mind fuck punishment than anything else. Having said that, the beginning of your comment says, do you think the only thing that happened was that she put away one dirty cup? Do you really think that? And the truth of the matter is I don't know. I don't know if that's the only thing that happened to cause her mom to react that way. But I do know my own lived experiences. And I know that psychotic parents can lose their shit at the drop of a hat. I've told this story a bunch of times. I used to be made to go up to the convenience store. It was a White Hen Pantry up on North Avenue in North Lake. We lived on Whitehall in North Lake. And my mother would give me cash and a note. And I would ride my bike up to a White Hen Pantry, and the cash would say, please sell my son a gallon of milk and 2 packs of Eve's cigarettes. Signed, Ethel Powell, my mother's name. And then I would have the cash. And because my mom knew the person at the convenience store and knew me, you could do that back in the day. And one day I went up to get the cigarettes and the milk for my mom, and as I'm riding back home on my bike, I spilled the milk off the handlebars. Didn't break the milk, didn't damage the milk, just dented and got the side of the milk dirty. My punishment for that was I was made to strip completely naked, lay on my belly on the couch in the living room. My mom was on the floor off the arm of the couch, and I had to put my arms forward over the arm of the couch, and she held my arms down while her boyfriend took his belt and beat my lower back and ass until it ripped open for dropping a gallon of milk. If I told you that story, would you say to me or to somebody else, do you really think the only thing that happened was he dropped a gallon of milk? Because that's the only thing that happened. We once had a birthday party at our house, and I took all of the other kids in the house around to let them know where all of the mouse traps were so that they didn't harm themselves. I don't know why. I was a kid. It was not something that you normally do, but it embarrassed the fuck out of my mother. My punishment for that was my mom took that little metallic strip that goes from carpet to tile, the transition strip. She took a loose one of those between our living room and our kitchen and beat my ass with it for showing kids where mouse traps were. So I don't know if this young lady was forced to do the dishes for an entire year solely because she put one dirty cup away, but I do know this. It doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility for me. So yeah, Yeah, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to take her story on face value because of the shit I've lived. And I'm just going to give you a word of advice as somebody who comments on social media posts. Unless you know what somebody else's lived experience is, I wouldn't make an ass out of myself like this again. Because those of us who have lived it know that it's the slightest thing that could set a parent like that off to cause psychotic episodes like that.